Joining us now is best-selling author of Controligarchs, Exposing the Billionaire Class, Their Secret Deals, and the Globalist Plot to Dominate Your Life. Seamus Bruner returns. Good to have you back.
Yeah, hey Chanel, it's great to be with you. So it absolutely was the moneyed interests who pushed Joe Biden out. Of course, Barack Obama and Nancy Pelosi played a role, but it all started in really early July. A lot of these big donors, particularly the Hollywood controligarchs, and this would be Abigail Disney, the granddaughter heiress of the Disney company, a guy named Ari Emanuel, that's Rahm Emanuel's brother. They are the ones who pulled the e-brake on Biden and a lot of other donors who kind of remain nameless. They don't want to, if you're going to take a shot at the king, you better not miss. And so they're all coming out of the woodwork now to pledge their support to Kamala. But a lot of these Hollywood guys, George Clooney, who's very close with Obama, he wrote that famous op-ed letter calling for a pause and a reassessment on Joe Biden. And so it was the money that pushed him out. They'll cite down ballot, and that's why the money decides not to put their money into Joe Biden. If it's going to be a lost cause, then yeah, all of the races are going to be affected if you're not, let's say, pouring millions of dollars into ballot harvesting and get out the vote operations, then yeah, the down ticket candidates are going to suffer. And so they all saw the writing on the wall. Not everybody went on record before Joe Biden dropped out, but they're all coming on record now in support of Kamala.
Well, what you just said, Seamus, adds fuel to a certain bonfire of discussion in Washington. And that bonfire is, there's all these different bonfires of theories, right? And so what you just said kind of adds to the bonfire that the debate was pushed onto the Biden campaign so that he would go on earlier, so that they had a little more time to prepare the next candidate before the DNC convention, because I know historically part of this discussion also is centered around the fact that normally you have a debate between the two nominees after the convention.
Yeah, exactly. This was an unprecedented debate. They got it out of the way early so that they could chuck Joe Biden out of the side of the car and put a new candidate in. That would be Kamala. So yeah, the debate was always suspiciously timed to give them enough time to find a new person. I think they wanted to leapfrog Kamala, the big moneyed interests. I mean, with let's say a Gavin Newsom or a Gretchen Whitmer, because historically right, Kamala Harris has polled so low that there's always the question, is she even a better candidate than Joe Biden is? But I think they realized, reality settled in. There's not a very easy way to leapfrog the first person of color, Black, Indian candidate for president, and so woman. So she checks a lot of the diversity boxes. If you were to leapfrog her with like a Gavin Newsom, that would just be a really bad look. And a lot of the people, the Black Lives Matter organizer said they're going to be outraged if Kamala gets passed over. And so she became the inevitable replacement candidate for Joe. But she's been in bed with these controligarchs, especially out in Silicon Valley, her entire career. I mean, back in 2003, you had a lot of these venture capitalists, a lot of these Silicon Valley tech guys donating to her very early campaigns. I mean, she was first district attorney prosecutor in San Francisco. Eventually, she was the attorney general for the entire state of California, and then as senator, they've always been big backers of Kamala Harris out in Silicon Valley, right. And so a lot of them are all in on Kamala for 2024.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.